Hello, my name is Michael Lambert, and today I'm in Poland. I'm in a city called Łódź, which is known to non-Polish speakers as Lodz, I think. And it's a city of about 600,000 population. It's the third biggest city in Poland. It's about 70 miles to the west-southwest of Warsaw. Now, it's a city which was famous as the centre for the textile trade many years ago. Nowadays, it's a much more mixed economy, but it's quite an interesting city. And I must say, I've been surprised by what I found here. I think if you're one of those people who believes that we're so much better than everybody else, and that Brexit was a wonderful thing because it gave us back control. I think you probably think that Poland is a very, very poor country full of carpenters and bricklayers and electricians. But I think you're going to be quite surprised by what you see. But anyway, I'll show you around a little bit and see what you think. Now, what you've just seen is a fairly small section of a street called Piotrkowska. It's the main street in Łódź. It's said to be the longest street in Europe. But the 2 or 3 mile section that I explored seemed to be bordered by endless cafes and restaurants, and some of them extremely nice. There's a terrific range of restaurants in Łódź. And I think if you might have noticed some really grand architecture as well. It's really quite a handsome street.
Now, I know that what people are going to say is, oh, well, you've just picked a nice street and that's supposed to represent Poland. Well, of course it's not. In order to give you some sort of general idea of what the city is like, I walked a lot and I took a lot of photographs, and I'm just going to show you a few of them just to give you an idea, to try and give you a flavour of what the city is like. What I did notice in particular, two things really. One is that there's a lot of very grand buildings, big solid buildings, some of which have been already done up and some are in the process of being done up, and some that are in need of attention. And I think if you were to come back to this city in maybe 5 or 10 years' time, I think it's going to be completely transformed. There's so much work going on in terms of improvements. And the other thing I notice about this city is that it's very green, trees absolutely everywhere, and lots of nice little parks and so on. It's really, really quite a nice atmosphere. And the third thing to mention is that in Łódź is one of the most famous film schools in the world, and people come from all over the world to study cinema in Łódź. And there are all sorts of, it's famous that there are all sorts of murals all over the place, and street sculptures and so on. So it's really quite a cultural and quite an artistic sort of town, which is fun. But anyway, have a look at these pictures to try and give you some sort of impression of what the city's like in general. Now, whilst I think it's fair to say that the shops generally in Łódź were a little bit dated, a little bit old-fashioned, some of them, I soon discovered that there is a shopping centre. In fact, there's an enormous centre called Manufaktura, and this is it's where they've taken some old industrial buildings that were used in the textile industry, and they've completely refurbished them. And these buildings are really, really nice. It's an enormous development around a huge square where there are dozens and dozens of cafes and restaurants again. And also within the shopping centre, there are 300 odd shops that every famous brand you can think of. I didn't actually film inside because I thought, well, once you've seen one, you've seen them all. I've filmed them previously in other videos, and I didn't think there was a lot to be gained from that. But I can tell you, everything that you could possibly want was there. Every shop you could possibly want to find was there. So anyway, I filmed this on 2 occasions. I filmed it once in the daytime. It was about mid-afternoon on the Monday, and I filmed walking away from the shopping centre. And the previous night I filmed quite late on, it was after 10 o'clock, so there weren't many people around. But this will give you an impression as to what this place is like. It really is absolutely fabulous. And I would have thought, although Łódź is not really a tourist town, I would have thought this sort of development would attract tourists. Actually, it's really terrific. And have a look and see what you think. Now, before I visited Łódź, I had really no idea what to expect. I think, like most people, I probably thought it'd be a bit shabby and a bit poor, and I was really surprised to find out what a nice city it is, what a fantastic city it is, and how it's very clearly on the up, and how I think the thing above all was how nice the people were. I've never met so many such friendly people. I spoke to an awful lot of people, and so friendly and so helpful. And also, I got the impression that they were pretty well educated. But anyway, I interviewed quite a few. Some, unfortunately, I accidentally deleted. But anyway, these are some of the people I spoke to, and this is what they had to say.
When you go to university here in Poland, do you pay any fees?
No, because in Poland, public universities are free.
Okay.
No tuitions or something like that. Even nowadays, we don't need any academic books. Because we receive like PDF versions or articles or only lectures.
Right.
Yeah, so sometimes knowledge from the slides or
But there are no tuition fees?
No.
Okay. What about your studies? Do you have to pay for your studies?
No.
So it's all free until you
it's
qualify?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the very best thing about living in Poland?
I would say that free education,
Yeah.
that we don't have to pay for education and for going to school. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's the best thing in Poland.
I was wondering how the Polish economy is doing.
Good, especially here in Łódź. Like I know they got a lot of like investment from EU side, a couple of millions. So I'm not sure. I'm not into. I don't really use it just to relax and come. But like what I see, like for the last 2 years, a lot of buildings are rebuilt. They rebuild their older buildings, building a new one. And we spoke with a guy from like a taxi guy who been living for 10 years here. So he told us like it changed like dramatically.
Really?
Really a lot, yeah. They're building the new railroad from the Warsaw to Łódź and Krakow. Like it will be really speed train, like 300 kilometers per hour, something like this, yeah.
Really?
Like I'm really impressed.
Yes.
Because after 1 year living here, we've been thinking about maybe we should move to another part. But you know what? I just decided
So
I'm cool.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm really cool.
How are things in Poland at the moment?
Good. Living here is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that government is to change, to be honest. But I like living here.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends and family here, so it's my place.
Are you optimistic about the future for Poland?
To be honest, I don't know. I hope that it will change a little. So, yeah, I think that I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you say is the best thing about living in Łódź or in Poland?
I think the people.
Yeah.
Lovely people.
Yeah. So how are things going in Poland?
I think everything is nice. We are worried about situation on Ukraine, but we feel safe.
You think the economy is doing
Yes,
well?
economics, I think it's not bad.
So you're optimistic.
Yes, we are optimistic.
What do you think about the EU, the European Union?
There is a lot of positive things, like easy work outside Poland,
Yes.
or comfortable travel around Europe.
So what is it like living in Poland?
It's cool, honestly. I like Poland a lot. It's really beautiful. We have beautiful nature and we have a lot of beautiful landscapes. But also, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah. In what way?
I mean, the government, all the people that are politics are, in my opinion, they shouldn't be politics, most
Right.
of them. But overall, it's a good place to live.
Are you optimistic about the future?
Now I am, because the government changed.
Right.
So it all starts to look better, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, what do you say is the absolute best thing about living in Poland?
I think we have nice culture. We have nice people, who are willing to help always and are really open to another. I think the people are the most important ones.
Okay.
I like our culture. I think food is the best. I love it, and I am really jak się mówi, że sobie personal history. Interesting in our Polish history.
Okay.
And I think it's really interesting, and we have a lot place where you can go and enjoy your time.
Yes. Yeah. This is a nice city.
Yeah, I love Łódź.
Yeah.
I am really happy with the community that we have and this sense of identity. I like Polish humor. I like Polish gatherings. I like the like the habit that me and my friends have to like gather and have fun, not only by drinking and partying, just to get around and talk. I really like Polish humor, Polish traditions with food, and this like sense of community where there are just some aspects where we can communicate without words.
I understand. Yeah. But it seems like a very nice city, this Łódź.
You like Łódź?
I like very much, yes.
Yeah, it's getting renovated pretty much because our current president really invests in that. There are some people that say that it's too quick and that the renovations in certain parts of the city are like done badly,
right.
In a low quality manner. But I really think that that's better than nothing, and our city was forgotten for so many years by each previous president and each previous city council, that I really think that it's good that anything is really happening. I really would like to see that quality also get better, because I also see these issues that are coming up in the comments on forums and such.
Yeah.
But I really think that we are going in the good direction in which.
What do you think about the European Union?
I am very optimistic about it. I'm really glad that Poland's a part of it.
Yeah.
Somebody once said that if you want to get to know a city, you need either 3 days or 3 years. And I think there's something in that, because if you really want to get to know someone, then obviously you do need to live there, and you do need years to really get to know a city. But at the same time, in just 2 or 3 days, you can get a pretty good impression of what a place is like. And I have to say that of the various towns that I visited in this small series of videos about the quality of life in other European cities compared with the UK, I think this is one of the nicest. It's certainly the biggest surprise. It's I found it a really nice place to be, a nice atmosphere. It's very cultural. It's got some wonderful architecture. It's clearly on the up. It's being refurbished very quickly, and there's so much going on there. And on top of that, I mean, the restaurants and the fantastic Manufaktura shopping centre and so on all make it quite a nice place to live. And above all, as I said before, the people were just so nice and so friendly and so well educated. And when I approached people to interview them, I would start off by saying, "Do you speak English?" Well, after a while, I stopped saying it, because you didn't have to. Because if somebody was under 40 years of age, they spoke English. They all do. And I think this is one of the most important things, really, the most important lessons that we really need to learn. It's that young people are the future of the country, and if you're saddling people with student debt, if people come out of university with £50,000-60,000 worth of debt, which they can spend the rest of their lives paying off, if they know they've got no chance of ever buying a house, I mean, that puts them at quite a disadvantage when you're comparing with other countries, such as Poland, where the students come out with qualifications and no debt whatsoever, and where houses are affordable. In fact, house ownership in Poland is 87%, compared with in the UK, where it's 52% and falling. And so when we're competing with a country such as Poland and so many other countries as well, we're at a huge disadvantage. And of course, with everything else that's going on and the damage we've done to our economy because of Brexit, you can see, I think it was Donald Tusk, the Prime Minister of Poland, who said not long ago, quoting a report from an international organisation, which I can't remember the name of, that the per capita GDP of Poland would exceed that of the UK by 2030. I think it's generally thought that it's going to be a bit after that, but I would have said, just looking around, it's they're advancing so quickly. We're in the doldrums and we've got so many problems. And I can tell you one thing, which I bet my life on. I bet they're not throwing their sewage in the rivers and the seas in Poland, and I bet they don't have a fraction of the problems that we have here. And so really, this was a really nice place to visit. It was a place where I saw no litter. I saw no charity shops, no betting shops, no pound shops. Quite a lot of graffiti, I must admit, but generally speaking, it's a place that's it's really on the up, and I'm very glad I was fortunate enough to visit. But anyway, that's what I think. If you've been kind enough to watch this far, thank you very much indeed, and until next time, bye for now.